If you're a grandparent today, you're probably in a really unique spot. You want to help your grandkids financially. You might even have the means to do it. But there's this nagging worry, right? What's the best way to help? How do you give them something that truly lasts instead of just patching up a problem for a little while?
Right, so let's dive right into that. This is the core question so many Canadian grandparents are wrestling with. It's a real balancing act, isn't it? You want to be generous, but you also have to protect your own future. Today, we're going to break down one specific strategy designed to do exactly that.
So, to really get why we even need a new strategy, we've got to take a look at what the financial world is like for grandparents these days. And believe me, it looks a whole lot different than it did even a generation ago. I mean, think about it. Grandparents today are living longer, and they often have a pretty significant net worth. But at the same time, they're kind of becoming the unofficial family bank. Maybe you're helping out with rent or chipping in for a down payment, and all the while, you're watching your grandkids face these huge hurdles like massive student debt or a housing market that just seems impossible. So you end up with this really strange mix of having the ability to help, but also feeling this deep anxiety about what their future holds. So what's the go-to move when you feel that anxiety? For a lot of us, it's writing a check. It feels good, it's immediate, it's generous, but let's take a closer look at why that kind of reactive, ad hoc approach might not be the game changer you want it to be in the long run. Yeah, this really shows the hidden cost, doesn't it? Giving some cash for tuition or to help with a car, it solves that one problem that one time, but it doesn't actually build any kind of lasting financial foundation for them. And even worse, it can be like a slow leak in your own retirement savings. It doesn't feel like much at the time, but over the years, it really adds up and can erode what you've worked so hard for. And this just lays it out so clearly. The cash gift approach is reactive. You're basically waiting for a financial fire to break out, and then you rush in to put it out. It eats away at your savings, and frankly, it can be stressful every time the phone rings. But a structured plan, that's proactive. It's a planned, defined contribution that actually builds a real, lasting asset for your grandchild. Okay, so let's shift gears and look at how we can build that proactive, permanent solution. We're going to focus on one specific strategy called the child plan, which is really designed to turn all those good intentions into a solid, concrete legacy. So what exactly is a child plan? Well, the most important thing to get is that this is not just a savings account. It's a special type of whole life insurance policy, and it really has two powerful parts working together. You've got the permanent life insurance coverage, and then you have this separate pot of guaranteed cash value that grows and grows over time. It's like a financial multi-tool, all wrapped up in one package. So, how does this actually work? Well, it's pretty straightforward. First, you start the plan when your grandchild is really young. This does two amazing things. It locks in super low premiums for their entire life, and it gives the money the maximum amount of time to grow. Second, that cash value grows and compounds year after year in a tax-advantaged environment. And finally, the best part, when your grandchild is an adult, they can tap into that pool of cash to help fund all those big life milestones. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but what does funding milestones actually look like? How does a decision you make when they're a toddler translate into real, tangible help for them way down the road? This is where it gets really powerful. This timeline shows you just how flexible this thing can be. That cash value could be used to slash their student debt when they head off to university. A little later, it could be the exact boost they need for a down payment on their first home. I mean, imagine that. It could even provide the seed money for them to start their own business. And way down the line, it can even act as a supplement to their own retirement savings. It's one single plan that creates a lifetime of options. And here's the part that's so crucial, and maybe a little surprising. A strategy like this isn't just about setting up the next generation, it's also specifically designed to protect your own financial well-being and give you some much-needed peace of mind. Just think about it for a second. Instead of those random, open-ended requests for money that can pop up anytime, your contribution is a planned, finite commitment. You know exactly what you're putting in, and that's it. This protects your own retirement comfort. Your gift is embedded in a permanent asset that your grandchild owns, which means they're less likely to need to depend on you financially in the future. It just gives you so much clarity and control. Another big worry for grandparents is fairness. How do you treat each grandchild the same when their lives and their needs are going to be so different? Well, this approach kind of solves that. By setting up a similar plan for each grandchild, you're creating an equal and fair legacy right from the start. It doesn't matter if one needs help with school and another needs it for a house, the underlying asset is there for each of them, growing steadily over time. I love this quote because it just sums up the whole shift in mindset perfectly. You're moving from being the emergency lender, the person everyone calls in a panic, to being the intentional architect of your family's financial foundation. It's a massive leap from just reacting to problems to proactively building a lasting solution. And that's really the question to leave you with, isn't it? In a world that feels so financially uncertain, a structured plan like this can take all that anxiety you're feeling today and transform it into a multi-generational legacy of security and opportunity. It really changes the whole meaning of what it means to give.